What's going on, guys? MGZ here, and I'm back with another crypto talk. I know it's been a while since I posted one of these, but I think it's time to hit you guys with another one. Excuse me, hang on, let me get a sip of my drink here. This afternoon's beverage of choice is ice filtered water using an Alexa Pure. Not a paid sponsorship, but I'm sure if you're in crypto, you probably filter your water too. I chose to go with the Alexa Pure over the Berkey, even though I got a lot of homies who use Berkey and are happy with it. I just fuck with the Alexa Pure because it filters more. I think my unit can filter about 20k gallons of water, and you put that into perspective, for a fucking adult male, it's 1 gallon of water a day, so that's a lot of gallons. So I thought I'd toss that out there. Do your own research. So so let's talk about this shit. So right now, you know what I'm saying, the economy obviously is not doing very well. What we have at the time of this recording, what is this? It is the 29th of August. I might release this video like a few days after, but it doesn't even matter. I could release this a week from now and it still won't matter. But I'm trying to figure out when the next FOMC meeting is. Let me actually do that shit live right now, since this is a it's a crypto talk. It's fucking off the cuff type, off the dome freestyle type situation. Let me see, FOMC meeting. Oh, September 19th. Yeah, I could fucking deliver this video 2 weeks from now and it wouldn't matter. But anyway, right, where are we at right now? Economy isn't looking too good. You know what I'm saying? Inflation there's small improvements. If you've been in my Discord, y'all know I've been pretty on it. I'm pretty good at basically absorbing what Uncle Jerome tells us and then spitting it out in simpler terms. So it's like easy to fucking read and be like, oh yeah, okay, so that's what he meant, right? So there's been some improvements, very, very small, but then, he doesn't really factor in core inflation and all the other stuff, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to talk about high level what I think is happening here. So obviously we know that Uncle Jerome's target is going to be 2% inflation. Honestly, truthfully, I think that is a fucking pipe dream. It's nice to say that, hey, we're going to get it down to 2%, but I don't think we're ever going to reach levels that low, especially not where we are in the world, Back in the 70s, before our time. And if you're a little bit older and you're listening to me through the wire, shout out to you. You were probably a young lad. So, back in the days, the previous Fed chair, I forget his name. Was it Bernanke? I don't know who it was. One of those guys. Fucking big dick, raised it up 20%, killed it, right? At first, the way the story goes is they partied too soon. Oh yeah, we got it. Inflation is dead, right? And then it resurged back really, really bad. And that's what Uncle Jerome is afraid will happen. If we let our guard down too soon, we start celebrating, then we'd run the risk of inflation coming back. And I remember several FOMC meetings ago, probably in 2022, like basically the fears that Uncle Jerome had is happening now. Like he's afraid that inflation will be sticky, and it is right now. Like 4.5 to 4.9% is just a fucking sticky number. And he's afraid that if inflation is sticky, then we would have to raise rates higher, longer. He doesn't want a repeat of the 70s, basically. And, a lot of the signs are there. So if y'all been living under a rock, which, I don't expect you to fucking catch up with Jackson Hole. Like, who gives a shit about that? Just a bunch of central bankers and the Fed talking shit, swallowing spit about, all our fates, right? Uncle Jerome's going to change the number on a computer screen, and it's going to affect literally billions of people around the world, right? So, long story short, talking shit, swallowing spit, Uncle Jerome feels that inflation is stickier and harder to fight, and that expect higher rates for much longer. And the bullish scenario is people on the other side of the aisle believe that this is peak inflation, and that the Fed will start cutting rates or slowing the shit down a quarter after in 2024. So now that more data and information is coming out, etc., I don't think that this is the peak. I don't think this is the peak rate hike, because historically, about a quarter or two after peak rate hikes, the Fed will start to cut or slow down. That's not the case here. In fact, the Fed talking about it's going to go higher for much longer. Y'all know my position on this. I believe that 2 more rates are coming in. We're probably going to go into 6%, possibly even higher. I'm already going into the rest of 2023 expecting at least 2 more rate hikes. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard on the economy. I'm saying high inflation environment. It's going to be rough. But they got us in this shit in the first place, right? So, and I have this crazy theory that the powers that be know that more rates need to happen, and that cutting too soon is not an option. But the people up top, they need to make money, right? It's all about the money, right? Cream, right? So here's a crazy off the wall theory that I was thinking that could possibly happen. May not financial advice. So what I'm thinking is, to be a fly on the wall during these meetings, what I'm thinking is there's probably going to be a couple more rate hikes, just like I am expecting. And I know these rate hikes are priced in, like even though our market is super irrational, we know how our market works. Even if we have lead time, advance notice that something's going to happen, our market's still going to behave strangely, right? Like, watch, we're going to dump when Uncle Jerome's like, we're going to raise rates 0.25, or he might just go big dick 0.50, get it over with, bring us up to 6%, and then maybe one more 0.25, and then call it good for the rest of the year, and then maybe announce cutting back in Q2 or Q3 of 2024, which is perfect time for us, right, in the crypto market. But anyways, so I think that's already priced in. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. He could do rate hikes for the next 3 meetings. I would just be like, okay, I was expecting it, whatever. So my thing is, I'm thinking that he's probably going to do the rate hikes, yes or no. What's wild is there's like an 85% poll on the FOMC watch. The last I checked, it was like 85% that they're going to just announce that they're going to stop raising rates and they're going to start cutting. They're going to keep it at 5.5 for a really, really long time and then start cutting off. So if my theory is, should that happen, then the TradFi markets are probably going to be bullish. They're probably going to pump Q1, Q2. Lots of guys are going to be making tons of money in TradFi, whatever. Whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. Then we get our BTC halving, right? And then what will happen is that the sticky inflation will come back, surging, coming back. And hold on, let me take a step back here. Actually, let me remove that last thing I just said. Let me just further simplify it. What I think might possibly happen here is that the Fed and the suits or whoever, they're going to play these games, pump the markets, even though they know that it's dangerous and that inflation can come roaring back. But I think what might happen is the Uncle Jerome is going to relax a little bit, whatever. Get all his TradFi buddies. They're going to be making money, tons of gains. Markets are going to fucking boom. Then reality will come in about the sticky inflation coming back, etc. And then all the money that was made from TradFi and the stonks and everything will then rotate, kind of like how we rotate between Bitcoin, big caps, Ethereum, and then to micro caps and so forth. They're going to rotate those gains and then pump our market to new all-time highs. We're going to be like, what, $3-4 trillion market cap? Oh my God, the crypto bros, they're so amazing. We're so smart again. Blah, 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 blah. And then we will reap the consequences worse in the next bear cycle, both TradFi and crypto. So that's my theory. And I'm delivering this video to y'all because here's what I'm planning to do should that reality happen, in the fucking multiverse, whatever the fuck. I'm gonna swim with the sharks, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my profits, be much more aggressive than I was in the previous cycle and the one before that. Much more aggressive with profit taking, both TradFi and crypto, because I think the suits or whoever, the elites, they want to cash in as much as possible, and then like a bear, with the gains, hibernate through an extended fucking long winter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm still a believer in the Bitcoin cycle, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But, we also have to coexist with the traditional finance, right? So my message, what I'm personally doing, not financial advice, is that should Uncle Jerome and his buddies play this game to be like, hey, we're all good. We're just going to raise it one more time. We're going to start tapering, we're going to start cutting these rates. Market's going to boom. Everyone's going to make some money. It's almost like a way to set your friends and family up first before the shit hits the fan, right? So I'm kind of that's kind of like where my head's at right now. Like, of course, I'm still keeping in mind, I'm still on track with the BTC halving. It's like, hell, if we have and all this stuff happens, but we still rip, then it will strengthen my resolve when it comes to believing the Bitcoin cycle. But, if this multi-year fucking high inflation environment rate actually happens and it affects our market, then I might shift my view. But long story short, I'm just sending out the alarm bells to y'all, you know what I'm saying, to the MGZ community, that I'm going to be swimming with these sharks, and then I'm going to secure as much profit as I can, because I kind of have a gut feeling that this might be one of the last ones for a while in terms of bull cycle where we're getting fucking tons of gains. I almost feel like should the bullish scenario play out and then, our markets start running, stuff like that, the consequences are going to be more intense versus doing it right, keeping the inflation high. Again, it's going to be painful for everyone, keeping the inflation high, keeping them raised for a long amount of time, and then fixing it, right? I think the bullish scenario is going to play out first, and then we're going to deal with the consequences later, kind of like what we did in 2020, right? But this time it's just going to be worse because we're already in a fucked situation. So I'm thinking like they just want to make some money to put onto the side to hold and ride it out. So that's kind of like where my head's at. Let me know what you think. Agree, disagree. I'm fucking crazy. Hey, we're in crypto. You know what I'm saying? We got a little, we got some screws loose in there, right? Because we're fucking mavericks, man. Freedom fighters, right? So let me know what you think. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like, just... it's gonna be wild, guys. You know, like if let's say that it does happen, blah blah blah, and you're looking at your portfolio, we're not even in the BTC halving yet. Like it has not executed or anything yet. And if your net worth and everything else is ready 10x, 20x, perhaps it's time to take some profit. Not financial advice. You know what I'm saying? So just in case. But you know, again, just want to reiterate, I have not lost faith in the Bitcoin cycle. I still believe we are on track. However, you know, these fucking the fucking TradFi bros, man, they still commingle with us and affect us in many ways. So I'm just trying to let y'all know what I'm thinking, where my head's at, and how I'm gonna play this, because the next Q4 is going to be insane. We will have to see. My view might change when we see the August report, inflation report here coming up in September. But you know, if that shit turns out to be bad, and then September's report turns out to be bad, and then November, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm probably gonna stick with this plan that I'm sharing with you guys. Just swim with the sharks, take as much off the table as I can, and save it like a fucking bear during winter. Because if Uncle Jerome and his buddies decide to play this bullish game, which is going to be great for us, you know, all our bags are going to be pumping, they're going to have to deal with the consequences later. And I do not want any of you guys to be caught with little to nothing after the FOMO hype. Kind of like the Q4 2021 pump, BTC to 69K, fake ass shit. They could easily create some type of run up again for both TradFi and crypto markets just like that, just so their buddies can secure the bag. But I want to make sure that we're doing the same shit too, because just the data shows, man, it's not looking good, guys. And this is not me being bearish or anything. This is just the situation that's happening and how it's going to affect our bags. But right now they're at this pivot point where they could turn the shit around temporarily to make some cash and then fucking sink the ship and then start fixing it, whatever. But then they've padded themselves so that they can ride out however long the shit needs to go for in order to fix it. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy. And I will see you guys in the next one.